Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Weatherspoon versus Ferguson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Mr. Weatherspoon, you have brought your ex to court because you claim she is trying to pin her 3-year-old son, Aiden Ferguson, on you. You claim to know who her child's father is, and that isn't you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, you claim that the plaintiff is denying your child only because he is a deadbeat who runs from his responsibilities. You testify you are certain he's your son's father, and once it's proven, he owes you and your son an apology. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Weatherspoon, why do you believe Ms. Ferguson is trying to pin her baby on you?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, from the time that I met this woman until now, it's been nothing but lies and deception. She know how I am with our oldest son, which is Cameron, and also my other kids as well.
You're such
she know
a
that
liar.
I'm a father and that I take real good care of my kids. So she wants it for herself. She like to make mistakes, and then she wants me to clean it up for her. We was together at one point, Your Honor, so she know what type of man that I am, and she wants me to share that same joy with the other kids that she also have. So that's why she's accusing me today.
But you believe she's just trying to pin this baby on you. You believe she's just trying to pin this baby on you.
Trying to pin them on me.
Are you doing that, Miss Ferguson?
No, Your Honor. If I pin some kids on this man, them his kids. I ain't just gonna pin no kids up on this man. He ain't nobody.
So you have another child together, an older child.
Yes, we do.
But you refuse to accept Aiden.
No, yes, Your Honor, yes, I do not accept him at all. My mama raised me not to never let a woman like this come and try to bring me down.
Woman like
Not gonna happen.
how? What woman? Woman like
So
how?
hold on, Miss Ferguson. Does Mr. Weatherspoon treat Aiden differently than he does the other children?
I feel like he does.
How so?
because when he calls me or message me, he only asks about Cameron. He don't never ask about Aiden.
Really?
Yes.
And when he's coming to see Cameron, he doesn't play with Aiden?
He'll probably speak to Aiden, but he don't give him like that fatherly feel how he get Cameron. And Aiden deserves a father, his father, to be there just as well as he there for his oldest brother.
Your Honor, she trained this baby to call me daddy. She trained this baby to believe that I'm his father. She
Why would I train him to call you daddy?
Pictures of him to me. When I come and see Cameron, that baby's calling me daddy. You gotta see how I feel
his
that this baby that I have no
father,
bond
Cordero.
or
You're his
connection with is
father.
calling me daddy. She's pushing something on me that I don't feel that's not there.
And you believe she's trying to manipulate you and make the child call you daddy to make you buy into this fact.
Thank you.
So now you have Cameron, the first child.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't question the paternity of Cameron, Mr.
No, I do not.
Weatherspoon.
No,
All
I do
right.
not. But
So-
I did start having my doubts, Your Honor, because after a while of us being together, I was actually sick one day and ended up going to go check my mailbox. I noticed the car was pulling up.
That wasn't me.
So I turned around and I think that car pulling up. So when the car pulled up, she got out the car. But as I'm looking over her shoulder, I see a white boy in the car with her. So I'm looking like, what's going on? So I say, Belinda, who is that white man outside of my house? You know what I'm saying? So she like, he just a friend. He just let me use his car to come over here. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, she never mentioned his friend.
You thought she was cheating.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you confronted her about that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Ferguson, were you cheating?
He was teaching me how to drive. We was friends.
Is he teaching you how to drive or teaching you how to ride?
He teaching
That's
me.
two different things.
He taught me how to drive out of a friendly gesture. That's all it was. It wasn't no intimate anything going on between me and that man. I even knew him before I even met Cordero.
So you were never intimate with him?
We was intimate before I even met him, but it was one time.
Okay, so see, now the plot thickens. See, this is the problem. Now I know why you never really told him too much about the man, because you would have had to admit this is a man I've been intimate with before.
I just didn't look at it that way.
So, Mr. Weatherspoon, is this the only other time you heard Miss Ferguson was entertaining other men?
I had some friends at this superstore, and they called me on the phone, and it's crazy because I was actually around the corner at another store with my sister shopping at the time. So they called me, they say, Cordero, are you still with Belinda? I say, Yes, I am. They say, well, she just walked in the store holding hands with this other man.
I wasn't holding hands with her.
I said, no.
I said,
no, that's not her.
That's
got to be a lie.
I wasn't holding hands with
we telling you. But in my mind, I knew they were telling the truth because I knew about this other man. You know what I'm saying? So I called Belinda's phone. There was no answer. I called her again. There was no answer. I called her for the third time. She picked the phone up, but it sounded like she was in the bathroom and I could hear echo. I said, where are you? She said, I'm at a party store with my friend. We getting some stuff for her party. She hung the phone up. When she hung,
I didn't hang the phone up.
When she hung that
phone up,
I went to my sister and I said, can I see your keys? Please let me see your keys. I hurried up and jumped in her truck. I tried to make it to that superstore, you know what I'm saying, to try to catch her up. So I drove as fast as I can around that corner, and when I got there, I ran up inside. My friends inside, where is she? She's already gone. So I was real upset then.
So you just missed her?
I just missed her. So in my mind, I said, enough is enough, I'm done.
All right. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I don't recall that, Your Honor. I don't recall him because after that situation with my my friend, we was at, the supermarket holding hands. I mean, we weren't holding hands.
Wait a minute.
We wasn't holding hands.
Oh.
We wasn't. I'm sorry. We wasn't holding hands. We was at the supermarket.
Wait a minute. You testified earlier that you were not holding hands.
It came out wrong. We was not holding hands, but we was at the supermarket. We was at the supermarket together.
So now that's the same man that's teaching you how to drive. Now he's taking you to the supermarket.
Yes.
All this while you're supposed to be in a relationship with Mr. Weatherspoon.
Yeah, but at that time, I didn't feel like me and him would be serious. I didn't know that we was gonna get as serious as we did. So I was still, I was talking to a friend. I didn't feel like it was going. I didn't feel like I was disrespecting him. I didn't feel like I was disrespecting him.
So now he says he's done. At some point, you break up?
Yes, we did. We broke up. I ended it. I didn't want it no more.
And that's before Aiden was conceived.
Exactly.
So now you're convinced that she was dating another guy during this breakup.
Yes, it was an incident with this street thug guy, you know what I'm saying? I was actually coming to see Cameron and pick him up to spend time with him. And when I got to her, where she was staying at first, the street thug and her was pulling up in a car, you know what I'm saying? So I asked her, Belinda went, what is my son doing in the car with this man? So she, no, we weren't doing that. I was just driving him around. We was running his errands. So I looked at her and I grabbed my son and I just walked away after she told me that.
But how does that say that I was messing with the man?
Hold on, well, wait a minute, Miss Ferguson. It's only so many rides and driving around the corner and supermarket runs. This don't make no kind of sense. You keep looking over him like you crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, but you admit you with these men. White man, the street thug.
If I'm not with him, I can do whatever I want to. If me and him not in a relationship.
So you saying this is when you all were done?
Yeah, we was done. That's when he told me about.
So you were entertaining. You did have another friend at that time.
I had another friend, but we wasn't together. We weren't in a relationship, so I could do what I want. And plus, he had a whole woman that he was
Mr. Weatherspoon, what you're saying is you believe this other man is Aiden's biological father.
Exactly, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm saying. I believe the other dude is his biological father. One time she called me and she told me Cameron needed Pampers. She didn't know when I was gonna come and bring the Pampers. I didn't tell her, but it was 7 o'clock at night. I decided to come and drop his Pampers off. I rang her doorbell. She normally answered her doorbell. You know what I'm saying? But this time she didn't answer, so I called her phone. She didn't answer the phone call, so I texted and said, I'm downstairs with my son Pampers. So she texted me back and said, I'm at church. So I'm thinking to myself, you at church? It's 7 o'clock at night. She said, I'm at night church with a family member.
I'm just glad she going somewhere, church, so she be riding in that car with everybody. So you was at church?
Yes, I was at church.
You said?
Yeah.
Who took you?
My sister.
Thank you, Lord. So, Mr. Weatherspoon, so you at the door with the Pampers. She says, I'm at church.
Yes.
Then what happens?
And then I found the other family members, the other family members of hers to confirm her story. And that family member says, no, she's not at no church with the other family member, that was a lie. So I text her phone back and said, where's you at with my son? You're not at no church. So she called me and said, I'm on my way. Whole time I'm standing on the strip in the building where she at, I noticed the car pulled up on the side. She hurried up and get my son out, and she came out and talked to me. I said, I thought you was not gonna take my son back to that street thug house.
Oh, wait, hold on. When she pulled up, she didn't get out of her sister's car?
No, she got out of the street thug's car.
Miss Ferguson, I thought you just testified that you were at church and your sister brought you.
We did go to church, but at that time that he texted me, we was leaving church, and I ended up going to the dude's house. Well, I was at church.
So a month later,
I didn't lie about
a
church.
month later after that incident, she claimed she was pregnant, was supposed to be with her son, Aiden.
So take me to that day. How did she tell you she was pregnant?
Well, first, Your Honor, she sent me a text and said, I think I'm pregnant. I said, about who? You know what I'm saying? So so when I said that, she called me. She's like, pretty much stop playing, I think I'm pregnant for real. So I hung the phone up. So she went to go take a pregnancy test, sent me the pregnancy test and said, yeah, I'm pregnant. What are we gonna do? I said, no, what are you gonna do?
No, you
laughed. You know what I'm
at
saying?
it. You
so
laughed at
pretty
it.
much that's when I knew and started feeling like
so,
that's
Miss
my
Ferguson,
child.
you tell Mr. Weatherspoon you pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the first person you tell?
Yes, Your Honor. He the first person that I told.
Did you tell the other guy?
No, the other guy didn't have no reason.
Why not?
No, because I wasn't sexually active with the other guy. We was just conversating. When I was going to his house, we was just chilling. It was never anything sexual between us.
Right, y'all was chilling at his house.
Yeah, because you go to somebody's house doesn't mean you have to have sex with them.
Come on, man, he's a street thug.
We never had sex. We never had sex.
Oh, Lordy. So, Miss Ferguson, I really want to keep it real. Are you suggesting that through all of this, everything you've done all this time, you've never had sex with anybody else?
No, Your Honor.
Are you for real?
So all it is entertainment, nothing sexual.
Who entertains a super thug, Your Honor? Who does that?
The same person that entertains another
What is a
person.
super thug?
A
Another
street
person
thug.
that entertains
Whatever. She made him
guy.
seem super to me. She made him seem super to me.
So, Miss Ferguson, take me to the birth.
I went through the labor without him. After I had Aiden, I called him. He came up there and he walked right back out. He looked at Aiden and walked right back out.
Is that what you did, Mr. Weatherspoon?
That's exactly what I did, Your Honor. I walked right in, I looked at that baby, it was no attachment, no feeling with me. I know my kids, I have
But
a
Aiden
bond,
looked just
I have
like
an
you.
attachment with all
Look at
my
him.
kids. When I walked in that hospital and seen that particular baby in the bed, I knew for a fact that told me
Sounds
to
so
get out of
stupid.
there.
He got
So
you
that's what I
nose.
did, I left.
And Mr. Weatherspoon, you never volunteered to do anything for the baby when the baby was a newborn, when Aiden was first born? No Pampers, no toys, no clothes, no onesies, no visits, no nothing?
No, Your Honor, I left that to the man who was responsible for that situation.
Aiden even have his dry skin, just like him.
Now he got dry skin.
He
Your
do
Honor,
have
I
dry
told
skin,
her,
just like
I
him.
told her about my eczema. I have eczema. I told her
Aiden
about
have
it.
the same thing.
When that baby started growing up, she gave
Same
me a
thing.
call and said, I think he really yours. He's starting to have dry skin like you.
I never
now
said
all of a
he think
sudden he
he
got
really
dry
yours.
skin like me.
Just like
So, what I want to understand is because when we talk about eczema, eczema actually runs in my family a lot too. So I want to get more information on this and see how this potentially could relate to the paternity question we're here to deal with. So I'm calling on Dr. Jamila Gator. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Gator into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like to ask her a few questions about this. Hi, Dr. Gator.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us again. So I was curious as to the medical information we have regarding eczema. Is this something that's related to genetics that could be somehow connected to paternity?
Well, possibly. Eczema is typically caused by allergies, which are often hereditary. And what happens is the skin gets irritated when it's exposed to certain environmental factors like foods, pollen, mold, dust mites. And that causes the skin rashes that we see, the dry, patchy skin with eczema. But eczema can also be caused by other environmental irritants like soaps, detergents, lotions that come in contact with the skin. And then in that case, it wouldn't necessarily be due to allergies and then typically not hereditary.
So I have to ask you, Miss Ferguson, do we know if the street thug has eczema?
No, Your Honor, I do not know that.
I don't know what this
What I'm
woman's saying.
saying is true and it's real.
But
That's I'm saying.
but the truth is, what we've heard from the doctor is there could be more than one cause. And that leaves us smack dab in the middle of some more confusion. Thank you, Dr. Gator, for being with us. You've provided us with the testimony we needed. When I call a witness, sometimes I feel like I'm going to get greater insight. But I feel like after hearing Dr. Gator testify, it truly validates the doubt that we see here. Because we really don't know. We've talked about super thugs, superstars, but we are in fact dealing with a super mystery as it relates to this DNA. Jerome, let's get the results.